another episode of Ray Bridge and Human. So glad y'all came back with us today. I got another group of fine men on this podcast today. I'm so excited about this episode. We're going to have a deep, heavy / funny / all around conversations. So I'm just excited to have the people here with me today. And for all the Bridgers, welcome back, man. I'm glad y'all back. I hope you sharing it with somebody. Please continue to let your people know. Let your people know to tune in, and not just tune in. Subscribe to the podcast. You can subscribe on YouTube. Also, you can listen on Apple Music and Spotify and Amazon Music. I didn't even know until I started subscribing to Amazon had a whole little podcast thing. So, but all of the platforms. Please subscribe, please share, subscribe, and we want to hear from you. We want to know what you think about the podcast. We want to know what you like and what you don't like. You know, it ain't just for what you like, it's for what you don't like too. So, but this is another episode. This episode in particular will be one that will be an educational piece, and I'm so excited about this episode. I told the crew before we got started that I felt a whole heap of peace and a whole heap of calmness as I prepared for the episode, as I set the space and I set the room for the episode. And I'm just thankful that I have a group of men that I'm connected to who can come on the episode and give their all, their whole selves. And so that's what we're doing today. We're going to talk about the reckoning, guys. But what's up, y'all? What's up, people? My people are here. My people are here, y'all. I'll let you know their names, but I love for my guests to just tell you what they want you to know about them. So side note, but not really side note, social media, and I know we're not even talking about social media, but when I say that, I think about social media and how people put on there what they want to put on there. And I think a lot of times we have this sense of, I got to put so much XYZ on here to be viewed as authentic or to be viewed as, in. But bro, you put on there whatever the hell you want to put on there. You know what I'm saying? But I said that to say, Corey Chapman, Samaj James, Anthony Crumley, and I just kind of want y'all to kind of introduce yourselves as you will, however you want to introduce yourselves. Let's start here.
So everybody, my name is Anthony Crumley. I've known Ray for about 10 years or so. And it's interesting because since he's been, recording and podcasting and whatnot, he's asked me a couple of times to be on. And I've said no multiple times for various reasons, but I'm glad to be here. And hopefully, I'm able to give it, my all, and, contribute to the conversation today in a productive way. So thank you for having me.
Appreciate you for coming. About you. Yes.
Hello, everybody. My name is Corey Chapman. I have known Ray for, I don't even know how many years.
It's been forever.
Forever.
We've done so much life together, bro.
Yeah.
Like so much life together.
From like church to everything. So when he reached out to me to do the podcast, I was excited. I like that the date even changed because we were going to do it at the end of the year, but it ended up being today, which is January the 4th.
Yes.
I think this is a great start to a new year to have a conversation like this, and I'm excited about talking about it.
Yes. I get mad. I'm just playing. Go ahead.
Mosh.
So yeah, my name is. See, right. My name is Samaj Blue. I don't know how long I've known, right? You know what I'm saying? Our church mother sent me to him back in the day. My haircut. We just been rocking ever since. I don't know when it was.
Well, that was years ago.
It was years ago too. Like we've been in this job for a minute now. You know,
Please talk like that the entire
He can't hold it. He can't hold it. He cannot hold it.
Ray and I've known each other for a very long time. What else are we supposed to be saying? What we want the people to know about us?
Just anything, whatever you want people to know about you.
I mean, what y'all know is what y'all know. I'm here and I'm queer.
Oh my God, y'all! These are my people, and we had a lengthy conversation prior to the cameras coming on, and I know, and I'm not saying this to make anybody that's watching feel bad, because everybody has their own voice, everybody has their own path, but I knew that for an episode like this, it had to be a group of men that I know, who walk in their whole selves, and I appreciate y'all for being on this episode, and I don't say that just like anybody, but I do say that even this season of my podcast, I'm growing. I'm digging deeper into stories, into nuance of stories. I think that in the podcasting space, you have so many different lanes and so many different types of conversations that's had, around everything, and I don't hear enough of our stories in this, and I know it's a lot of people that are watching this, and this episode is and will be an educational piece. It will be an educational episode, and it will be one that will educate the community at large, and also on a nuance, on a more intimate level, it will be an educational piece for the queer community. And I invited people that I knew that walk in their whole selves, and I just want to have this conversation with y'all.
I believe personally that a lot of people in your audience are going to be excited to hear that you're growing and digging deep. Yeah. They're going to be really excited to hear that.
What? I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And just give y'all a tidbit of where I am. My cameraman just got here. What's up, J Mark?
What's up, man?
You good?
How y'all doing?
You good? Did you lock the door?
I did, man. I got you, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lock it up.
But yeah, I sit in a very particular space in community because I am a queer man, and not only am I a queer man, I am a barber, and I cut everybody's hair, and I mentor black boys, and that is always a fine line with a lot of people, and I know. My identity is no secret to anybody. However, I know someone in my shoes with the things that I try to do in the community, with the things that I try to do in my life, it can be challenging in the Bible Belt South. It can be challenging being who I am. And so I choose to just push forward, and be all of who I am, because I know everything that I'm doing is on purpose. I was created to, my soul contract was to be exactly who I am, and I'm not diverting from that. I'm not. So if you're watching and if you're watching, you know me, and you want to know what's going on, what I have to say. So thank you for watching, and this will be one of those episodes. So let's go. Let's get into it. We're talking about the reckoning, y'all. The reckoning. And we as queer men, we have built lives of independence. We built lives with being alone, and just finally realizing we deserve love, partnership, family, softness, just independence. And our independence became armor. It became our armor. It became who we were. And I think before we started the cameras, Maj, you said we were pushed into this. But isolation became our safety. Loneliness became our normal. Now we're having deep reckonings. Now, I think if we're not 40, we're close to 40. But just growing into who we are and building this this new sense of awareness, if you will. We realize we can love. We can be loved. We can build family. We don't have to perform strength. We don't have to die in solitude. And I want to break this conversation down and four parts, if you will. A couple of parts. I want to kind of start with the myth of hyper independence, kind of break that down and what that looked like for us. Then I'm going to go into the cracks of the armor when that shit just wasn't working no more. We realized, damn, like, I know I wasn't built to be like this, and when it started breaking, and then also going into relearning intimacy, and if not relearning, learning intimacy, learning what intimacy looks like for us individually as well as collectively. And the last piece, choosing connection as grown men. I think we choose our families a lot in our community. We choose our families, and we choose the people that we spend our most time with, and what that looks like for us too. So, man, yeah, this is the conversation, y'all. A lot of you, whether you are a part of queer community or if you're part of the heterosexual community, I think a lot of us and a lot of you are so used to seeing us alone. We show up at the family gatherings alone. We show up at events alone. We show up with friends, but you never really get to see a lot of our intimate pieces, our intimate spaces, and you talk about them. You discuss them. And when I say you, I mean everybody. All of us discuss. We discuss, who's with who's sleeping with who's doing what, But this episode, The Reckoning, is really geared and tailored toward having the conversation of coming out of that hyper independence, if you will, because we're built in it.
Secrecy.
Again, that's the secrecy, and the hyper independence and the hiding, if you will. And so I want to break down this myth of the independence. When I thought of this episode, I thought about even going back to my childhood and the little boy in me. I can remember when I first knew that I was queer, and I didn't see blueprint around me, and so I had a mindset that I'm gonna be alone. I saw myself alone all the time. Even when I played with my toys, I can remember 7 or 8 years old. I love Hot Wheels. Y'all look at my house when I got like 500-600 Hot Wheels on the walls. But I can remember as early as childhood, 7, 8 years old, and I would be, I build Lego blocks all the time. I would build houses, right? And I would have the Hot Wheels, and the car symbolized who's driving cars in the houses. So I would build these houses up as a child, and for me, my car would be like alone. I saw myself alone as a child, and I would make families like Samad, you, and your wife over there, but I would always be alone, and I think that kind of carried me through those early years. That's where my hyper independence started, and I want to hear from the panel, but I want to discuss, and explore being the strong one. We learn to take care of the room as children, even into our teenage years. We take care of the room emotionally. We make sure everybody is safe. The distrust in childhood, secrecy around sexuality, fear of heartbreak, and of course, church trauma. But I kind of want to break that hyper independence down, if you will. So I just want to get y'all thoughts on, y'all earliest stages where you can remember, where you begin to kind of go into the lane of, okay, I'm independent. Like I gotta do this on my own.
So for me, and you're familiar with the story, but I had a really traumatic childhood. And so because of that traumatic childhood, it wasn't until I became an adult that I saw how things kind of pieced together for me to be independent. And I just saw, because we were really poor growing up, like weeks without food, weeks without lights and stuff like that, that I just noticed that I had to get it for myself. But that was coupled with, I also saw that the way I loved and my affection, or my, what I like to call my natural inclination, or attraction to men, it wasn't well received. And so you see that if I don't, within the community, do what the elders want me to do, then they're going to withhold some type of love, or they're not going to provide a certain type of support. So coupled with the fact that I have this experience where I don't have a lot growing up, I'm also seeing that if I want the same access, or if I want the things that I see the little things that some people in the community provide to some of the heterosexual people or boys my age that like, girls, shit, I gotta get it for myself. You know what I'm saying? I have to get a job, keep a job, get a good job, make good money, make wise decisions, get a car, get a house. Like I have to hold it on my own because nobody else is gonna give it to me. One, because I don't come from that type of family. And two, the little things that they can provide, they're not going to give it to me simply because I like men, and that's wrong. So it's like I'm pushed into hyper independence because shit, who else got my back?
Right. Wow. What about you, boy?
I think for me, I was performative as a child. What we would like to call now,
We know them.
we call it people pleasing.
Yes.
I had a mother who worked really, really hard. She was a hairstylist. She still is one now. But I remember as a kid, like she would take us to school in the morning, go back to work, take her break from work, come back, get us from school, take us home, then go back to work. She made sure we had the best of everything, all of that. And so for me, I think I kind of looked up to her in a way.
Okay.
And I see her as a very, 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 very strong individual. But also there was a part of her that I feel like was kind of a loner. And she was hyper independent. And so that was my role model. So I always wanted to make sure that she was pleased with me. So I was like one of those, gotta get included, gotta get in honors classes, gotta have the straight A's, gotta dress well, gotta make sure I'm well mannered, gotta make sure I look the part, all of those things. And I think it kind of groomed me to be, I don't even remember like being young. I don't remember knowing I might be gay. I think that came a little later for me.
Really?
I knew I was different.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really concerned as much with, what my sexuality was. I was more concerned with, okay, you gotta be perfect.
Yeah.
And so, that's where it started for me.
I'm now and I'm gonna say this first here. My first book is going to be on the different sons and different. Yes, my difference. A large part of my difference is gay. However, different is not always gay. There's a lot of things that make us different. So I want to write a book on the different son because that what you said, like we knew we learned we were different before we learned we were gay. We learned we were gay because people picked on us or said things that we didn't know.
That definitely was, that was it. Like people started speculating that I was gay, and then I thought about it, and I'm like, maybe I am. And then my mom asked me, and it kind of hurt my feelings, but
it hit like a ton of bricks. Right? What about you, man?
Ooh. So for me, what Beyonce say? I'm one of one. I'm the only one. So for me, my experience was a little bit different because I am the only child. And not only that, I'm a military brat. So I'm the only child of a military family. And so for me, I think...
Robin.
I'm with you. And so I think for me, I think I learned early on, it wasn't necessarily about being gay per se. It was more so, because I have to tell you, I never had an issue surrounding my sexuality or owning that. It was more so, like you mentioned, as far as the perfection aspect of it all. Being, presenting in a certain way, acting in a certain way, behaving performative, dressing in a certain way in order to, and my parents will probably kill me. Don't tell Sabrina and Tracy that I'm doing this episode. But performing in ways where I thought that they wanted in order to receive love.
Okay.
Yeah.
And never feeling as if I quite measured up. So, like you, I was in honors classes and doing all these things in school, did well, straight A's, all of those things. And to a degree, it was kind of self-sacrificial because I felt as if while those things were important, I don't know what the true motive was behind doing those things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as a result, I think from early on in my childhood, I think it was kind of like this double consciousness where I'm performing in ways, getting attention, if you will, but still not quite being me fully.
Yeah.
And I remember in my first experience was with reckoning, if you will, with that, was in college. And I remember there was this young lady that I used to sing with, and she and I were having a conversation, and she said, "You know what, Anthony, you know everything about us,
Wow.
and we know nothing about you."
Yes.
And so that got me to thinking that I moved every couple of years, because of being in the military family and all of that. And it was easy for me to make friends, but it wasn't easy for me to sustain those relationships.
Yeah.
Because in part, I was, for all intents and purposes, hiding who I was because to a degree I didn't know,
Didn't know.
And when I graduated from, undergrad and grad school and whatnot, and ultimately I moved to Memphis, that's when the sexuality piece, came in.
Okay.
Because now I'm on my own. I can date, freely, all of those things. And my parents, you guys know this. My parents, my family for the most part is in Seattle. We're here in Memphis.
Yeah.
So not only did I move away, literally moved away cross country, but to a degree, I felt, looking back on it now, I don't think I had the aptitude to think of this then, but I think in part I moved away so that I could be more free.
Yeah.
And not under the thumb of my parents or my family or what their thoughts were. I can define what mine are and who I ultimately wanted to be. But that led to the point of the conversation, or where we at in the conversation, that led to being hyper independent. With the experiences that I had in my childhood up until my adulthood, to what we were talking about earlier, I just kind of had to make it happen and get to it. And I think in part, I self-isolated in ways.
Yes.
That probably wasn't the most helpful.
And we what I think I'm hearing kind of corporately is that performance. We knew the script that we saw in society, and so we knew at young ages we had to adhere to the script, and we had to be the best we could be at the script. And doing that, we build lives and we build our identities, and we build our masks of these identities, and it get to a point to where it's like, dang, man, this is what we know, and I feel like that's where our developmental, our delayed gratification, or however you want to put it, like that's where it started, like our arrested development, because this is where we diverted, and we learned, okay, it's me, and it's I have to do this in order to be looked at or accepted in this society, especially growing up. And your story is similar to ours, bro, but I know it's different because we growing up in the South, in this Bible Belt. It's so funny sometimes. You be like, why
I
y'all
had that experience?
why y'all think that? Why y'all feel that? We're like, bro, like this is the thing. So that whole independence piece, like how many years did y'all, would you say, from, let's just say, from when the years we started, seeing people and dating, from like 17 until what age did you kind of hit a block and say, you know what? No, this script is not working for me.
You know, so for me, I feel like I came out twice, right? So as soon as I graduated high school, I came out, and it wasn't really the coming out. It was just like to me saying what everybody knows. You know, like, I'm feeling this. I'll get out. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all discussing me.
My mama done called me with boys and everything growing up. Like I don't know why we playing. Okay, so I came out then, and then you know the church kidnapped me a little while after. I came out. Religion snatched me up.
Snatched you up.
And so when I first came out, I was like 18, right? Graduated high school, 17, 18 years old. I come out and my dealings with men wasn't relational. It was just, I'm dealing with DL men.
Yeah.
Like I grew up in the hood, all of the things. And as much as y'all want to think these men are these things or whatever, I'm not the DL whisperer. I don't go on the witch. Okay? You get on your own. Find out on your own. But anyway, I was just engaged with a lot of DL men. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't even a thing of, oh, I see myself in long-term relationships or anything like that. It's just like, I know I'm going to be with a man, and with the type of men that I was attracted to, this hyper-masculine, hood, you know, oh, I'm in a gang and all of those kind of things. I just knew that I would be the only guy he was messing with, but he probably had a baby mama and a girlfriend or a wife, you know, all of the things.
Yeah.
And so then when religion snatched me up, it was like a decade or more of me not being in a relationship and me just being on my own and me trying to figure out, because I'm in these religious spaces, I gotta figure out how to like women because that's the only way I'm gonna be in a relationship.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to, you know, make some kind of peace with that. But, you know, I ain't no famous gospel singer, so it really ain't working for me. It really wasn't working. And so then when I got out of that space and then I came out again, like, hey, y'all, I ain't doing this deliverance thing no more. You know, it's running me crazy. It's messing up my mental health. It was then I started engaging with DL men again. And maybe in the last 2 years, it's been this ain't going nowhere. I'm getting too old. Everybody in a relationship but me. Everybody is growing old. And yes, I got all of the things and this, that, and the third. But, and you know, how old is your audience?
I got an adult. It's all adult.
A quick nut just ain't getting no more. You get what I'm saying? It's like,
real talk.
We fuck it and that's it. But there's no, I want to cuddle sometimes. You get what I'm saying? I want to know somebody got my back. I don't want to have to work 80 million hours of overtime to fund the life I want to live. And you know, all of the things. I want more. I want more. And I want love. And I want all the things that comes with that. Yeah. And I want to be secure in my relationship and just all of the things, you get what I'm saying? And it's just like, oh, I'm not going to get that chasing after DL men.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen, girl. So you have to go within to figure out, one, why are you chasing them? Why are you over there in that space with those unsafe people? Because they'll kill you. You know what I'm saying? You know. Yeah, man, to kill you. I want you to tell the secret. I'm gonna leave your keys. I won't tell you. So for me, it was just like just in the past 2 years, realizing that I'm getting older, and as I get older, I do want more. I do want love, and I see, you know, I got some friends, you know, that's sitting to the left of me, and they may have found love. They got it, and I got it. You know what I mean? They trips. You know, going in and outside, you know, I'm letting them out. I ain't got love like that. You know what I'm saying? My word, you know? So, anyway, just realizing that I want more. And in order to what they say, to get different, you have to do different type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just standing out of those spaces and going after people who are more authentic, going after people who are more open, going after people who are more secure in their gayness, their queerness, or whatever that looks like. You know what I'm saying? Going after those people who aren't ashamed of, you know, who they are and not really caring about. As far as the performative piece, I'm grown, and if you ain't paying my bills, why am I concerned about how you feel about how I'm living my life? It doesn't make sense to me. Like that doesn't. I have a lot of bills, and nobody ain't paying them, and then I got a kid.
Yeah.
Nobody paying to get her hair done. Nobody, it's like, no, like, why am I worried about what you think about what I'm doing with my life?
Right.
I gotta live my life for me.
That's right.
Because this time.
Okay.
Listen. But yeah, so anyway, it was just that for me, like the reckoning, if you will, or the thing that was like, oh, this just isn't working.
Yeah.
And I'm too old. I ain't even working out enough to be around here topping somebody that a China horse. Those squats. Listen, I need love.
That's right. That's right. What about you, Corey? What about you?
Okay, so I'm going to piggyback off what you
Come on,
said.
piggyback
I'm
off
just gonna
mine.
throw this out here. I work out a lot. You still gonna get Charlie horses a lot.
You still gonna get the China horse.
So
God.
for me, I think it was a gradual process. I think it's still going on. It maybe kind of was a little bit opposite of what you said. I was in relationships, and they were like long-term relationships. I don't think I've ever been in one that wasn't at least like 2 or 3 years. And I get up to 4 or 5, and then they don't last.
Wow.
But I think I was in a way still performing. I think I was doing what I felt like, instead of like finding a relationship and being in one and like actually figuring out what it is that I want and need in that relationship. I was doing what I felt like it should be.
Yeah.
You know, just like the whole ideal of what a relationship should be. So now, even at 43 years old, I'm still trying to figure out what that is. And I'm enjoying my single time. I'm, taking that for myself and just figuring out what it is that I like and what it is that I authentically want. And I've been enjoying myself. I've been reading all these things about like romanticizing your life and taking all of the stuff that you would put into a relationship and giving all that stuff to yourself. And so I've been on a mission to figure out what a good time is, with just me.
Yeah.
And then after that, I feel like I'll be fully able to show up in a relationship with another person.
Which I can participate in that.
Yeah, and to your point, Corey, I think that we go with the mindset that we're going to perform with the people. We're going to perform with the people, but when we get in our relationships, it's going to be different.
Right.
And we don't take into account we're used to the performance. And so even in relationship, we hold things. We keep things. We keep things we shouldn't even be keeping, but we just hold it because we're so used to hiding, or we're so used to putting on a face. And so I think that transition is difficult. It's hard, like you said, to your point. Like like my relationship lasts a certain amount of time, and it's like, man, shit,
I gotta do something different.
Gotta do something different,
The next one got to be the last one.
I got to.
Listen, my current relationship, I don't want to do it again. Like with where I am, I'm in a committed relationship, and love, babe.
Love, babe.
Listen, we in there. We just turned 3. But we
toddlers.
we just turned 3. And I think that. Relearning myself, like the more I learn myself, the better I got in relationship. And I know it's not like that for everybody, but I know, but the more I learn myself, the better I got at it. Because even I could think back on even when we first met, when I was in the relationship I was in, when we met each other, like I loved that relationship, but I knew that my maturity level only met a certain point. Like I was scared people don't find out I'm gay, so that hindered me. So you can only go to the level of your maturity. And so I think that we have to like figure out a way to back up from, and when we hit that, when we were self-aware enough to hit that block, like damn, this ain't working. Like things shift. What about you, bro?
My experience is similar to Cora's actually, in that I have been in relationships since I was in my 20s.
Okay.
So total relationships. Well, I was in relationships throughout my 20s, rather. Two of my relationships were 5 years.
Okay.
And then the last one, transitioning from my 20s to my 30s ish or whatever, that was about a year and a half or so. And so I think your 20s, I think I was trying to figure it out. And I also think that I was enamored with being chosen.
Wow. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Man.
And,
Yes.
you know, and looking back on it, I mean, I loved them, of course. You know, I cared about them, cared about their well-being and all of that. And I think the relationship served the purpose of what they were supposed to in that time. And I'm grateful for those relationships, the breakups, the heartbreak, you know, and all of that. And I think ultimately they prepared me for where I'm at now, in part where I'm at now, independently, you know, as an individual, but also with my current relationship. You know, this particular relationship is just different in ways that I'm not used to. And I think after that, after my third relationship, I took some time. I took some time off and, you know, really sat with myself, got, you know, engaged in therapy, started focusing more so on my friendships and those connections, my family dynamics, and also going inward and asking myself some real tough questions, especially as it related to being in a relationship.
Yeah.
One being, what do you want?
Yeah.
You know, what do you really want? Of course, honoring the relationships that I had been in prior to, you know, they were great for what they were, but they were no longer serving, you know, no longer serving my growth and development. And so when I started asking myself those questions, I hate to say it this way because I don't mean any slight against those who I may have talked to or dated in the past, but I started operating and choosing better.
No.
You know,
Better for you.
Better for you.
Right.
Better for you. Right.
So yeah. And I ultimately landed, you know, it's so interesting too. We have a mutual friend, and I remember speaking with her, and it still sticks with me to this day. And she said that she said a couple things, but the only thing that's stopping you from having what you ultimately want to have is your belief that you can have it.
Yes.
And also, she said it's time for Anthony to raise his prices, not cry about not cry about those who can't afford it. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I'm insensitive, you know, but again, those type of conversations were pivotal to where I'm at now, and I just started operating in a more healthy place. Still having fun, you know, from time to time, but ultimately deciding that I want a partner who is going to love me, I can love, and we're going to love each other and move through life in a healthy, productive way. And I think that's what I have now. And so, yeah. What do you say? Love bang.
And listen to you talk, brother.
Because you've been there. You were there when I
was there. You know, I thank God I got you out of here. You know what I'm saying? And listen to y'all. You know, thinking about our approach as we move into the intimacy piece, like learning intimacy and relearning. I think this could be so argumentative, but I'm gonna say it anyway because I feel this to say. I think a lot of times, you know, in the past, because of what we came out of and the secrecy and the what's the other word? not secrecy, but the discretion, if you will. The discretion that's used. I think a lot of times we walk in relationships walking backwards. And then after a while, we're walking backwards. We start looking over our shoulder a little bit. And then maybe we might turn, but until we turn around and fully walk into it, we can't fully embrace what it is.
Right.
And a lot of times we walk backwards because we're looking at religion first, we're looking at family first, and then we know what our desires are. Like you said, because we've been pushed into this secret place, we're walking backwards into it and not really giving all of our attention, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, to this entity. We're giving what we got. We're giving what we got. So,
And you just made me think about
You good.
something. I don't know if y'all felt this way too, but when I first started dating men, I even had the mindset to where, and I hear it all the time in other people, but I was telling myself, I'm not going to do this forever.
Mhm.
Yes.
Right now.
Oh, yes.
It'll go away from me, and
I was
then
about
I'll have
23.
my wife and kids.
That's
and
a good
all that
request.
stuff.
Yes.
Get worse.
Not 28 years later.
Right.
And I say a lot of times, Corey, if I had somebody a trusted older version of me, a trusted older queer man to tell me that it only progresses. And we have that thought that, okay, I'm gonna get to this age, I'm gonna do this for a minute.
I always say that to counter that a bit.
Okay.
I think that with the way we were so deep into religion, we could have had an older man to tell us it's never going away. We would have told the man to get the fuck out of our face. I'm gonna pray and I'm gonna fast. So I think that if we had have been brought up in a loving household to say, forget the outside noise. You're okay. This is your normal. It may not be my normal, but this is your normal, and that's okay. We're gonna rock with it, and we're gonna love you, and we're gonna do all of the things. I think that would have kind of helped us go a different way. Even with the example that you were using when you were like, we're kind of walking backwards. What it made me think of or feel is I'm walking backwards, but the thing that I have my back turned to, that's love. The thing that I'm facing, the reason I'm walking backwards is because I have to watch out because I got to protect myself. You see what I'm saying? So it's like I'm afraid of what's going to happen if I fully turn around to what's going on here. So I have to walk backwards. And I've been forced to walk backwards or made to believe that I have to walk backwards because if I don't, y'all gonna be on some fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? And do I want to lose? Even when I think about DL culture, do I want to lose the love and support? The little bit that I have of my family, am I willing to put that on the line? Am I willing to, just lose everything I have? And I know people somehow you crazy. One of the bravest things to me is to be openly gay, to be a black, openly gay man. That's some brave shit. That's you don't put on your big boy boxers, briefs, underwear, thongs, jock strap, whatever you got. Okay, you don't put on your big boys, to be openly gay and say, you know what, no matter what, no matter who, no matter when, what, where, how y'all get down, I gotta be me. I have to step into my authenticity and just do that.
And to your point, we do this so effortlessly. I got one of my closest heterosexual male black friends. He texted me the other morning. It was like 4:45. He watched the episode that I did with Jeremiah and AJ, and he said, "Raymond, long mess." He said, "Raymond, what, like, your ability to say what you said on there and for y'all to like be able to get in front of that." He said, "Man, I take my hat off to y'all, bro. That's some brave shit, bro." He said, like I got the whole weight watching the episode. I got the weight of what it would feel like to be one of y'all. And he said, "Man, that takes bravery in this world." And so, to your point, like it's it's a lot, and to be able to do this and. To your point, like we walk backwards because we're scared of what we could lose, you know, and all at the same time, you know, with culture and church and family, we lose or we miss lessons of love. We miss lessons of really fully putting ourselves in it to where we can get it and feel it. And it may not even work, but we get to lose and we get to feel what that lost feeling. Yes, the experiences of it. And, you know, learning to allow ourselves to be loved, learning to fully give love, you know, those intimate pieces, and believing that we're worthy of it. I think that the biggest piece for me with relearning and learning intimacy is believing, because, you know, man, y'all will get this episode, like, there's probably like, I don't really do real well at giving a lot of my most vulnerable pieces on the internet, but I'm doing it now, so y'all work with me. But I think that a lot of my woes in my past relationships with learning intimacy and having intimacy is believing that I'm worthy to be in this relationship, because I always carried this heavy religious mantle that if I love God with all my heart, mind, soul, and strength, I cannot love another man without my heart, mind, soul, and strength. And so that paradigm I dealt with a lot. And so, yes, I went to the max at throwing money where I could to show you that I love you, or throwing sex where I could, or being at your every beck and call, because I wanted to show you that I wanted it, but intimately, I still wasn't given everything that I had in me. You know, not that wasn't in every relationship, but I can remember that believing that I was worthy enough to be in it. Y'all get what I'm saying? So how y'all rock with that intimacy piece, and learning it and relearning it?
I deal with my friendships the same way I deal with relationships. I feel like I have this personal theory that if you're a horrible friend, you're going to be a horrible partner. So if you don't tend to keep friends, why am I dating you? Neither here nor there. I realized that, you know, for me, and realizing last year that I wasn't, you know, being my authentic self, even with my friends. Like I was being, Viola Davis, I love Viola Davis, but in her book she has this thing that there's a difference between being real and being transparent. Being real is saying I have $5 shoes and I'm not afraid to say I'm wearing $5 shoes, but being transparent is saying I'm hurting, I need help, you know, all of those things. And I was real, but I wasn't transparent, right? And so for me, that's learning to be transparent in my friendships has helped me grow to a point where I'm like, no, even if I'm gonna get a partner, and even now that I'm dating, I'm transparent. But because I've dealt with DL men for so long, I'm realizing I'm dealing with these openly gay dudes like they DL. Like it's just like, how do I move over here? What are the mechanics? Like, do we kiss in secret? Can I kiss you in public? Can like it's like all of these things, and I'm like, you're so used to dealing with DL men that now that you're over here with the girls, you know, you're over here with the openly gay guys. I'm this guy that I'm dating, he pulled up to my job the other day, and I could tell that he wanted to kiss me, right? And we were in the parking lot, and you know where I work, and so there was like people outside, and so I was like, I'll see you later. But it's like I'm trying to unlearn the DM from my standpoint, right? Because that's always where I've been. I'm trying to unlearn the secrecy of it all, or the discretion of it all. Or I know I ain't gonna be able to. I'm only see you at the house, or you know. No, you can love openly. You can do all the. Is it dangerous in this climate? Possibly. With the way I desire to love a man, my partner, my boo, my bae, you know, whatever. With the way I desire to love him, I understand that is dangerous. You know, hate crimes are a thing. You know what I'm saying? So I understand what that looks like or what that may be. But for me, it's just learning, one, that I am worthy of love. that I am deserving of love, that I am deserving of a reciprocal love. Like it doesn't have to be that love where I'm just giving, and you just receiving. Damn, if I pay your car note, you're gonna pay my light bill, you're gonna pay my rent. You know what I'm saying? Not that I want the things, but it has to be reciprocal. Get your love that has some reciprocity in it, okay? But that's neither here nor there. For me, it's just learning that loving openly gay men isn't the same as loving this DL hood nigga that's claiming GD.
And with what you said, I think about like being able to give that intimacy and give that love. Like I feel like we're so built on giving it, and we don't know how to really like stop. And because, to your point, the people pleasing, we're so used to just showing up how we need to show up to give what we need to give, and we don't know how to stop and say, damn,
I mean,
even if it don't feel good or sound good, if that intimacy means you're giving me some constructive criticism, even if that intimacy means you're saying something that really I don't feel right with, but we don't know how to feel that, and that's a thing too. But what about you, Corey, with that intimacy piece?
I got a few.
You're good. You're good.
Okay, so going back to childhood, I'm sure we were all taught that being homosexual was wrong.
Yeah.
Just the act of a man having sex with another man, being intimate with another man is wrong. So there's a whole lot to unpack there, and I think people don't really realize how long that actually takes. Those younger years, a lot of people always talk about how those are very like pivotal years in a person's life because things get drummed into your head and those things stay for like a long time. So there's that part of it. And then also we were talking about being hyper independent earlier and what that looks like. A lot of that also ties into the whole idea of being hyper masculine.
Yeah.
When the two of you were talking, I heard both of you saying basically in relationships, the way that you showed love was giving.
Yeah.
Which I think that's a very that's a thing that is taught to a lot of men. Like that's what it is to be a man, to be a provider. You give. Well, I mean, when you're with another man, you know, that could look completely different. You're trying to show up as that, and then the other person is trying to show up as that, and then sometimes you end up kind of bumping heads with them.
Yeah.
We don't know how to be emotionally open and available to each other. We know how to be providers, and we know how to give what we're supposed to give, and that's how we are taught to show love. So it's still taking me a while to learn what that looks like, to actually be open and transparent and talk about like my feelings and all the things that I require. Because remember earlier I said one of the lessons for me last year was about a softer life.
Yes.
I think we all should learn to be softer in our relationships as far as like what the dynamic is between those two people or three or whatever, because you know now
that's right.
They get into the thing.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just showing up in a relationship as more than just a provider. You got to show up emotionally intelligent. I know I was told once before that I was emotionally unintelligent.
And you should have kissed my man.
Wow.
I was upset.
Wow.
You know, I think I get what was being said to me.
What they were trying to say.
I just needed to be more transparent. Like I don't have to show up as like, you know, strong and hard and rigid all the time. I can show up as soft and gentle.
And there's nothing wrong with that. To me, something that I don't know. So from what you said, and you saying you're choosing better, I think that, like they would say, it's nothing wrong with choosing better. nothing wrong with saying that, but I don't necessarily think it's a choosing better. I think it's that once we stop the performing and we just step into this is who I am, this is what I need, all of the things, I'm able to sit back and receive. I'm able to say, nah, you got it.
And you choose a better person that's a fit for you.
That fits, that's a better suit.
Right.
So it's like, oh, you're not a bad person. This person not dating or anything. They're not bad. They're not this. They're not that. You just weren't the fit for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's why I have to put that disclaimer out there because, you know, I never want to devalue a person, you know. And again,
Are you emotionally intelligent?
right.
You know.
And again, you know, and I go back to my experiences, particularly in my 20s, and that's what it was for. You know, we were figuring it out. We were figuring each other out. We were figuring out what we want, what we didn't want, what I liked, what I didn't like, you know, who I wanted to be. And I think, you know, listening to you guys, you know, talk about this last piece, you know, and I think I've said this before in other conversations, but going inward and being into me.
I see. Into me.
I think that is pivotal. It's important because you have to, if we're going to use the word, keep the word better. You know, if you want to choose better for you, you have to be able to go inward and do the work. You know,
do the work,
and ask the tough questions and really take care of yourself. And I think a lot of people look at self-care as and I like them too, the manicures, the pedicures, the gym and all that. But a lot of times doing the work in self-care is saying no.
Yes.
Or saying yes when you need
yes.
And
saying yes to yourself.
Saying it right.
Yes.
And I think a lot of times what we as a people, gay or otherwise, what people engage in is really self-medicating and avoidance.
Yes.
And we have to be able to go inward and be able to sit.
But that avoidance can be so much because we'll be avoiding some shit that we really need to be paying attention to. We really need to be doing it, and we do it. And that whole like being able to give and receive fully intimacy, like we can avoid the hell out of a relationship, whether it's a friend or a partner or even a family member. Like we can get so heavy on that avoidance. Y'all taking me a lot of places with this conversation, but I love it, y'all. Because audience, listen, right? Give us your comments on what you think about this, because this is a conversation that I know, like, I don't hear a lot on podcasts. You know, I don't even hear a lot of this, and just like we're able to have this conversation, and as we round it out, you know, choosing connection, where we are now, being able to be where we are now. We built these beautiful lives alone. We built these lives alone, and what we desire, like the sacred love, we desire that, and we desire community, and we desire connection, and not even just with romantic love, but with friendships, you know. And something you said a few minutes ago, I think that especially as queer men, a lot of times, because y'all go with me on this. Come on. A lot of times we'll, because I know I've been guilty of it, now.
Say the things, Raymond.
No. I'm gonna say it because I think I can truly say now I don't have this issue anymore with my closest friendships. But I think that a lot of times in the queer community we'll put responsibilities on friends that really should be meant for intimate parts. You know what I'm saying?
Really should be meant for there.
Real talk. A therapist, it's, and we don't have proper placement with the things we give our ships. You know what I'm saying? And wanting like certain pieces from it gets mixed, but until you really dig in to know and get to know your placement, where you are, how you want it. Choosing connection is hard, and how we need to connect. And I think that going into this last piece of the conversation with connection, like I had to choose, and I had to have my things sorted out, right, before I could disperse what I need to give in my ships with all of you. You know what I'm saying? And I think that in order for me to give and receive connection and build connection, there has to be boundaries in place on what I will do in this ship and what I won't do in this ship to protect me, so I can show up the best I can. But I think that in this world, in this culture that we all live in, it can get misconstrued sometimes, and there's problems.
I think that especially as what I like to call recovering people pleasers, sometimes, and when we say ships, we're saying like friendships, relationships, siblingships, like whatever the ship is. I, as a recovering people pleaser, have to be careful that I'm not giving too much of myself. You get what I'm saying? And now I'm depleted. I ain't got nothing for me. One thing that I do, and if you know me, you know, I've become really good at saying I don't have the skill set you need to help you through this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you need professional help. I'm just a bootleg therapist, right? That's what I'm just a bootleg therapist. I ain't got no degree, okay? I ain't got no hours. I don't have the skill set needed to help you. And although I'm a really great friend and I want to be there for you and I want to do the things, I don't have the skill set needed to help you. But I'm also intentional now. I started this book years ago and I ain't never finished it. It's called No More Mr. Nice Guy. But one thing that it said about nice guys is we tend to choose people, even in friendships that we know need help, because us being able to save them validates who we are. And so once I realized that, like, oh, that's you to your core. You always looking to save somebody, like you goddamn Superman or something. Once I realized that, I'm not, whoa, I've messed up. I don't have the capacity to even hold all of this. And now I got all of these quote unquote, because I ain't saying nobody, this is not a bad thing. I have all these people who look to me for something I said I could provide that I can't. So I don't necessarily want to say they're needy. I just don't have the capacity to give you what I said I was going to give you. I'm a liar, okay? That's what I am. I'm a liar. And so now that I realize that, it's just like me being careful with my energy. I'm building connections with people I know, even in friendship, who can give it back. And who are also emotionally intelligent enough to understand, if I ain't got it, I just ain't got it. I know it's your birthday, but we all in our late 30s and 40s. I had to work 16 hours. You're going to understand if I can't show up to a birthday party or something like that. So it's just, for me, building connections with emotionally intelligent people, building connections with people who can pour back into me, people who can pick me up. You get what I'm saying? Or say, hey, bitch, I ain't got it, but you might need to go make an appointment with your therapist. You get what I'm saying? You might need that, girl. You've been working a lot of hours. You might just need to take off and go to sleep or something. You know what I'm saying? Like you're overstimulated or whatever the case may be. So building connections. And I'm not saying this just because it's your podcast, and after this I'm done. I will say that being friends with you, Raymond, I was afraid to be friends with Raymond at first, because looking at Raymond for all the years I looked at him, I've always just felt like you were surrounded, and I told him this, he was surrounded by people who wanted to be his friend just because he was Raymond. Well, I'm close to Ray, I'm close to Ray, I'm close to Ray. And so when Ray was like, maybe we should kick it more or whatever, be friends, I was like, I don't know, girl, you know what I'm saying? One, you ain't open the gate, so I don't want to do that. Two, I don't want to just be your friend just to say I'm your friend. I don't want to be on the Ray list. You know what I'm saying? And so being friends with him and his authenticity has introduced me to some really great people. You know what I'm saying? really swell people. Some really I'm just glad that I'm not friends with the catty gays. No shade to them. I'm just glad that I'm friends with people who touch grass, who love themselves, who are happy to be gay, that want to throw shade all the time. That ain't mean. I mean, we can get shady. She can. All this is a shade tree. All this ain't a shade tree. Well, you know about damn, right? You know, Zach and Chris. I want to name. You know, Mon. But I have met some really great people through you.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I remember like when I was like in real deep religious spaces, one thing I was afraid of is like, damn, bitch, you're gonna say you're openly gay again and you know the girl's a caddy and you probably gonna be friendless for the rest of your life. But I have met some really great gay people, down to earth, fish fry type bitches. You know what I'm saying? Bring wine to every event.
Oh God,
that's my bougie side.
Yeah, as far as connections, thank you. You know
wow,
what I'm saying?
Wow.
Introducing the bitch to some great people.
Man, I appreciate you too. I promise I do. Yeah. And with connection, I think you know, and I don't think I know like that's where family is built. That's where like true like life bonds are built.
Right.
Come on,
connection. You know. But what about you, Corey? What's your thoughts on connection? Your take on connection?
Okay, so I think it all. I mean, it ties together. I mean, all of it basically it tracks. If we're talking about how we started off as being, you know, hyper independent, then of course, I think we were talking about it before we actually started. But you're in a stage where you feel like I gotta get it. I gotta do this. I gotta this. And so you're building. And so you create this life for yourself. And then when you get to a point where you feel like, something's missing, you have to be careful, to your point, about like who you let into this space because, people who see you and see what you've done and see where you are, a lot of those people they want to be a part of you just because just to take from you. And I feel like that's kind of another piece in the process to finding real connection because then those things kind of take you through. You see what you don't like, and after you're done dealing with all the things that you don't like, it teaches you about what real connection looks like. Yeah. And so you change your mindset about the people that you look for. Like you said, you look for better for you. Look for people who can show reciprocity in relationships. You look for people who can show up for you, and not just like paying and giving money, but also somebody that it's. I'll tell you, it's nothing like when you're going through something and you know that it's somebody that you can just pick up the phone and call and talk to, or you'll text them and they might want to just meet you and just to hang out with you. Like it's an amazing feeling, and you know that you can show up in that space and nothing is expected of you other than to just be who you are. And they can be who they are, and you feel like you really know them, and it's priceless. And I have those relationships now. I am still working on going back and rebuilding those relationships with people that I feel like tried to offer me that, but I wasn't open to it then, even family members. And so, that's where I am now. It's weird to go back into, the space, especially around my family, and I can be authentically just wholly me. But I've been working on that. Even in my last relationship, my family went on a family vacation. This was when I was like 41. And hell, I brought my partner with me, and we all stayed in this big house. And all I can think about the whole time is I was just like, hell, in my 20s, you would have never been able to tell me. Right. I was on a damn family vacation, and my man would be here. And sitting around the table. All that, So it's been rewarding. It's it's a great feeling. Um, yeah, that's kind of what I'm on now.
And I want to publicly tell you this, Corey. As we stated, we've been knowing each other for years. We've truly seen each other in different phases of life. And like I knew when I called you to come, like we've just carried a connection. Like it's something about rooting yourself with good people. Like I can remember back then, bro. It has always been what it is, and I thank you for being who you have been to me through the years, and even me watching your evolution. You know, as a man, bro. I love it, and I appreciate it, and I thank you so much for being connected to me, man. And I know we can say a lot of pieces about social media and everything, but I love like watching your content. I love keeping up with you because you are such a good person, man. And I appreciate. I really appreciate who you are. Your willingness to be your whole self. I love it.
Just so as far as that, oof. So I just feel like there's a lot of when I go to social media, there is so much. I don't want to sound cliche, but there's so much negativity. There's so much.
Yeah.
Like I think we were talking about this too before we started, but people out here just being problematic just because they know it's going to get them likes and views. And so I just feel like anything positive that I can do, anything that is going to be uplifting, I try to share. I share a lot of stuff. I share a lot of quotes. I might share me at home lip syncing to a song. I might be dancing. I might be doing whatever. But I mean, I just want to show people, you can live a happy, peaceful life if you want to. It's available to you.
Absolutely.
You don't have to subscribe to all the other stuff. So
Bible verse. You know what the Bible say.
What's
the things that are lovely.
Things that
are true.
And I'm coming to you, bro, with this connection. But to something that you just said, like, I think even with the social media piece, at first I told my friends that I would feel the pressure of showing everything I need to show to just say I fit in this group, I fit in that group. But now I'm looking like, man, look, everybody get what they want to give, But so even with the different platforms like Facebook, I feel like Facebook is a Baptist church, it's a culture church. It's everybody get on there to prove their love for God, and so I'm relegating on 2026. I'm relegating on a certain type of content to that. TikTok, IG, I'm on there, and I feel more connected to those spaces than something about like Facebook. It just gives me church. It just gives me church.
I think you should friends list.
Yeah. You got to fix it. And I call myself fixing it, and it's just
like unfriended folks.
Because it's like it just really irks my nerves. Especially if you told Jamal Bryant.
Same both ways to trouble.
That thing is like really irks. Anyway, connection, bro. Where you at with it?
So for me, I think the more happy, I guess, I become on my own as a person, I've learned that it works for my relationships as well. And when I'm not, it doesn't. And so I think connection for me first starts with myself and really doing those check-ins.
Yeah.
So I can be my best, most authentic self with you all, or with my friends, just in general. And I also have said before, you might remember me saying this, but as far as like collective abundance and us coming together, even now, I think is a testament of that and a testament to our relationships and dynamics with each other. And I think it showcases how important connection is, and being able for gay men to sit in front of your audience and actually show that it's possible.
Yeah.
And to Samaj's point, we're not catty or, because there's some, if we're being honest and transparent or real,
Oh my God.
there's some gay men, black gay men, who aren't always the most pleasant to be around, but on the flip side of that, there are a lot of us who are, and I'm glad that we found one another. So.
And God, I don't want to. I'm not trying to pick a fight, but I've had this, and I'm saying this because I had this conversation a lot recently. But there's a subset of gay men that the conversation is just always their American Express points in their Sky Miles, and that is and that just comes with so much.
Those girls like you.
But I'm gonna tell you something, that piece of conversation, it's always it's a blur to me. Like, damn, is that all you can talk about? You know what I'm saying? Is that all? Right? Your worth is there. You know what I'm saying? But it's deeper than that. Life is more than that. But I feel like in community we can get into I'm trying to show all of my best to the community, so y'all can feel like I'm worth.
Really random thought. Especially with us having a conversation about hyper independence. To me, and it's just a connection to just hear me now. The conversation about them and their sky miles and all of the things, it's all tied to me to the hyper independence. You've been that's where your worth is. They're still performing in a lot of ways. They've not stopped to realize that this isn't even reality, or I don't have to live this reality, if you will. They're still performing in a lot of ways. They're still on that hyper independence train, and I build miles. I got the best of this. I got the BMW, the Mercedes, the townhouse, and the properties, and that's where my worth is tied to, instead of just me being. So I think it's still a part of the hyper independence.
I also think, to piggyback off of that, there is something to be said, if we're going here, about this subset, like you said. There's something to be said about desirability. And if I present in ways or show ways that other people deem desirable, I become. You understand what I'm saying? And so I think there's a certain level of, like you guys said, being performative, but also, again, not doing the work, not being intimate with oneself, and actually dangerously believing that, that your worth is tied to those things. But in some ways, perhaps they are, because society says, fill in the blank. So,
you're viewed as less than as a man. For a long time. And so that makes you want to, show up and prove yourself. So we just got through talking about how, men are viewed as providers. And so I can't provide to you if I don't have. So now I got to have all of it. I want to be more successful, more in shape. I want to have more money than a straight man would. Because now y'all gonna look at me and be like,
wow, come on.
And what time we're asking?
That's what that is.
You want to be on top.
I mean, it makes us overperform.
Yes.
That's why I see a lot of women all the time, and they're always just like, oh, why you got me?
That is
being
not
so
a
attractive and all this other kinds. Yeah, they're sad about it, but it's because they see us. They see us as
the success and all the
successful,
things.
well dressed. We got all the stuff, and
taking care of our shit.
Yeah.
And to your point, we can have the stuff, we can have the things, and not you know,
That doesn't have to be all of us.
right. And just for the point of conversation, listen, I'm sitting on a panel with men who have MXs. I got 2 of them, you know, so that's not even a thing of we're saying this because we don't have it, but it's just a point of using that as your, you know, this is the banter of who I am now, bro. Like now, you know, and I would not pick another set of people to even be sitting here with now, that because we're all like-minded, and for all of the men and women who's watching, who's in our community, who have not come to a reckoning, or if you're coming to a reckoning and you've met that tip to where you can't go further with the pretending, you can't go further with the performing, and you want intimacy and you want connected friends and community, you can get there. And you have to reach a certain point of awareness with self, and that. And I'm rounding the conversation now, but that conversation can go into so much, you know. And I will just say, you know, I know that my soul has a contract, you know. I came in this earth. My daddy left 6 months later. I know that we more than likely couldn't be in this earth together, and the Creator had to allow what happened happen. And I know that now there's nothing missing. Like every lesson that like I think that and of course this is another conversation, but I'm gonna bring it here to close it out. I think that we can focus so on the things that happen to us that we forget to embrace the lessons we got out of what happened to us, and what we learned from those experiences. So looking inward, to your point, and to all of y'all's point, digging inward to me and taking accountability, taking responsibility, like those things brought the reckoning. And if you want community, if you want intimacy, like it's there for you to get. Like we're not getting younger, people. Like we're not getting younger. We're not getting younger to kind of, oh, it's gonna come one day. No, bro, we're middle age, legit middle age, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, like we literally more than likely reach like our midpoint, our halfway point in this life thing. So, any final words just for the conversation? This has been a great conversation, man. Any final words y'all have? I want to hear from all 3 of you, and we're gonna close out, but. Thank y'all again for coming, and y'all will see. If y'all don't give me y'all handles for social media, I'll put it at the bottom. They want to follow my people. These are my people, y'all, all 3 of them. But thank y'all so much. I just want a final word for the reckoning. If y'all could give a final word for the people for this conversation.
What did you say?
I said some of us have to start posting.
Oh,
God.
Right. I'm gonna get there.
You can reach your top. I don't care how you get there.
I'm gonna get there. I promise. In 2026, I will do some content and all of those things. Because y'all been on me, especially right. So I will do that. I ordered my stuff, my starter kit and all of that, you know, for my posts and whatnot. So I would do that. But my handle, I guess, follow me if you want. So my handle is Anthony.Crumbly on all platforms. So they must have seen yet. But, you know, still follow me there. But as far as last thoughts or final thoughts. I think that when it comes to reckoning, there's a certain level of, to your point, what you mentioned, ownership and responsibility that has to occur in order to get the life that you ultimately want to have. And to your point, for a lot of us, I'm 37, and I think about how quickly these 37 years went by.
Yes.
And in another 37 years, I'll be a
senior.
I'll be a senior. And so, to your point, time is what Destiny Child said is of the essence. Time is of the essence to a degree, and while you have time, if you don't act and take responsibility, you'll see that your life and your time is passing you by.
Yes.
And there has to be a level of ownership and dedication to pursuing the life that you want. And so I think that is my final say. So it's not advice, but I think those are my 2 cents and final thoughts for the episode. I do have a question though.
Okay.
So you mentioned, this is a joke in a way, but you mentioned you like to lip sing and whatnot. Who's your favorite person? Because I do.
Tamia?
Shut that. She got a mean set. She got a mean set.
I mean, to the point.
She got a mean set.
You hear me, Corey?
I want to see this.
I was shocked as hell.
I'm listening.
We got a little video footage. I got my phone in the car. My video footage.
Okay. Final points. Have fun. Live life to the fullest. Be open to new experiences. Don't be afraid to love. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Promote yourself. People will always try to humble you when you are a person who is like a whole, full, self-realized person. Don't listen. Just be who you are. And the people who appreciate that, you don't even have to always look for them. They'll come and find you.
Yes.
Because when you're operating in the way that you're supposed to, you're even on a subconscious level, you're moving towards the things that are for you.
Yes.
It's not always about a struggle. It's not always about like working your fingers to the bone or any of that. Just enjoy all of the moments. Even if there are moments when you are by yourself, when you're alone, you still got you. You're never alone. So
yes,
that would be my.
Who you like performing?
Shoot, everybody.
Right.
So I do this thing now. I just started. I've done 2 videos I put on the social media. But every time I take my braids down and blow out my hair to go and get it rebraided, I'm gonna be singing to somebody different.
That's right. I said, old Maxwell.
Well, it's been women.
Really?
The first 2, Mariah Carey, and then Beyonce.
Beyonce song was
Okay.
Dress.
I love that. I hated Freakum Dress when it first came out, but then Beyonce song.
And me.
Damn.
Yeah, she did.
Beyonce. Freakum.
For no reason. Why she singing like that?
It's 2026. Beyonce's coming again. Act 3, y'all get ready.
Yeah, Beyonce did. On B-Day though. B-Day is.
Yeah.
Beyonce did her good singing on B-Day.
I'm around good people, y'all. This the half.
Yeah. Let me see. Final words. What I got to say? What do I have to say? Be your authentic self. Do it sooner than later. Yeah. What they say? The pain is
staying the same,
or the pain of change.
Right.
Which one you gonna roll with? And like he said earlier, I think, or something to what he said earlier, realizing that you're not everybody's cup of tea as a recovering people pleaser. I had to quickly come to the conclusion that I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm a big personality at times. Sometimes I'm real shy. But mostly I'm a big personality, and everybody can't do that, or can't, everybody don't like that or whatever. Okay, I'm not your cup of tea. That's okay, baby. I'm gonna go to the people I go to, or attract the people I attract, and I'm gonna be me at all times, and that's just gonna be that. And I'm okay. I'm not goddamn sliding down a wall because you don't like me. You know what I'm saying? I'm my authentic self. I love me. I love the people that the divine has placed in my life, and I hope the same for you.
Yes. Thank y'all so much for this episode. Like we got through it, bro. We got through it.
We did.
we got through it. And it was amazing to sit with y'all and to hear you guys' perspective. Thank you. And for the record, I'm not Beehive, Corey. Somebody's a Beehive, you know. But you know,
I mean, it's okay.
She's
No,
not
but-
a Beyonce hater though.
I'm not a Beyonce hater. You know, but you know.
She's been to
That's
more
my
concerts.
best friend in my head.
Yeah.
I'm gonna meet her one day.
Yeah. I've been to a concert or two. And
He
she
enjoyed it.
amazing. Like it was amazing. I think I loved the freedom in the room. Like
Oh yeah.
I felt there was so much freedom in the room. But anyway, love y'all. This is Ray Bridging and hearing many stories I told. People get to see it. Thank you. Love y'all. See y'all next week. Peace.
You-